A very good evening to you, our dear viewer. This is News Tonight. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and Dorothy Namyomba is with us on sign language. First, though, let's look at the top stories. In our headlines tonight, President Yoweri Museveni pledges to fight corruption. Drama at Lutale's daughter's attempt to attack the president's judge. Kyagulanyi asks government to arresting his supporters, pledges to focus on his manifesto. And in a rally in Bulambuli, President Yoweri Museveni has reiterated that government is fully implementing his earlier pledge of donating 2 acres of land accompanied by 10 million shillings as a package to households affected by landslides in Bulambuli district. While campaigning in Bulambuli this Thursday, President Museveni noted that this program intends to relocate communities living in disaster-prone areas.
By 9 a.m. of Thursday, 6th November 2025, supporters had already gathered at Nabongo Secondary School grounds in Bulambuli district, ready to receive the NRM presidential candidates. Through different local performances, local communities described President Yoweri Museveni as a bridge of development and emancipation. The afternoon drizzle ushered in party leaders and dignitaries. Moments later, Bulambuli district welcomed the president.
Huyu mja wako kwa jina Yoweri Kaguta Museveni aliikuta nchi hii ikiwa imeoza.
In Bulambuli, the president was flanked by party leaders Anita Ntamo, Calvin Echodu, Richard Odong, ministers Hilary Onek, Florence Nambozo, and Patriotic League of Uganda Secretary General Daudi Kabanda.
We welcome you to Bulambuli district this afternoon as you continue reminding we party members about the need to protect the gains.
You people of Bulambuli know what used to happen, and now you're sleeping in your house, you're doing everything that you can because of the peace brought by our candidate.
The grateful people that have stayed here in rain and appreciate you. We thank you for your leadership and the peace you have brought to this place.
Joint memorandum tabled by local leaders pointed out a few challenges hindering development in the district.
I pray for you to consider to upgrade Muyembe Health Center 4 to a district hospital, Your Excellency.
At the beginning of his address, President Museveni recalled how insecurity disturbed the communities of Bulambuli.
You people of Bulambuli, you are the best witnesses for the meaning of peace.
In the 2026-2031 manifesto, President Museveni is pledging to construct more schools and hospitals for Bulambuli district.
But there are some parishes which don't have government primary schools. Those we will get. Then there are some counties without government secondary schools. They will also get.
Being one of the districts which has been often disturbed by landslides, President Museveni couldn't skip this matter as he invited the Minister of State for Disaster, Hilary Onek, to update the community.
Our ministry has managed to rescue those from the disaster area. Most of them are now kept in the settlement camp waiting for relocation.
But the president faults local communities for interfering with nature, which has resulted into the persistent natural calamities.
Very dangerous because first of all, once you cut the trees are the ones holding the soil. So therefore, that's why we took a policy long ago that people in violence should go away. They should not wait for people to die.
President Museveni, however, reiterates that relocating residents residing in such prone areas will be a continuous government program.
The policy of getting people out of danger was adopted long ago. That's why we bought that land. 2,000 acres, now they are buying more land. There's money to buy more land. Each family will be given 2 acres and 10 million. And then there's 50 billion to buy more land.
To those who have supported the relocation program, the president is quick to recommend them.
Therefore, I'm glad you want to be settled. That's good, because in the past, people didn't know the danger.
He further alleges that landslides have been a persistent issue arising from poor politicking.
In the past, people thought we were just talking that there was no danger. And the politicians are very dangerous. We say, oh, no. They should stay. It is as if a country has no people of knowledge because of the politics of people who are just blind, who don't care about, who don't do anything. They don't want to learn. They just want power.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Now still in Bulamboli, leaders in Bulamboli district, Bugisu sub-region have declared unwavering support for the ruling national resistance movement as the country heads towards the next general elections. They attribute their loyalty to the visible social and economic transformation, notably infrastructure and service delivery, that has lifted and uplifted the district's outlook and the livelihoods.
Day 2 of the NRM campaign in the Bugisu sub-region. So Bulambuli district painted yellow as residents rallied behind the NRM presidential candidate. Speakers credited the party for spearheading infrastructure development that has boosted the local economy.
We can now trade via Karamoja and we can go to Swam, so we are very happy with him.
We want to pay him back for giving us this Muyembe Namal Road, which cuts across about 10 sub-counties.
We used to travel for a week on the road to come to Bulambuli, but he has made it very, very, very easy for us to travel.
Beneficiaries of the Juakali project echoed similar appreciation, vowing to vote NRM to sustain the progress achieved.
These groups were facilitated with machinery, like tailoring machines. There are those who were catering, those who are dealing in catering were given tents and chairs, and those who are dealing in other sectors were also given equipment.
Some of us were farmers, and we request the government to at least give us the water pumps so that we can enlarge our businesses.
But they also want disaster management strengthened, given the area's vulnerability to landslides and floods.
Because there is data on climate change that suggests that says colder regions are going to become more colder, and the dry regions will become more drier. So since we have the Elgon Aquifer, which is going to release a lot of rainfall every year, it means these are just signs, symptoms, but in the future we might get even more floods or even worse mudslides. Therefore, I request that ministry is made independent so that it can tackle such situations which are in the Elgon zone.
So that climate change can be at least reduced according to the weathers that we have. Because when it's still, even in the dry season, Bulambuli is hit most.
For now, the NRM campaign message remains clear: to protect and consolidate the gains so far attained under the movement. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, residents of the Acholi sub-region, especially the Gulu district, have appealed to the Alliance for National Transformation and Compensation the presidential candidate, that is General Mugisha Muntu, to prioritize the compensation for Acholi war victims, improve livelihoods, and create job opportunities if elected as president in the 2026 general elections.
But what about the leaders?
General Mugisha Muntu spent the day traversing Gulu district to garner support for his presidential bid.
The NRM regime cannot move this country anywhere in the correct direction at all.
I'm not getting. Yes, I'm 18 years old.
While in Paicho under watch, he emphasized the importance of peace and justice in addressing insecurity in Acholi sub-region.
The police cannot manipulate the courts. That the person, the owner of that land, will get justice. That's part of the security architecture in a country. Justice. There is no way you can have peace unless you have justice.
At Paicho town, residents decried creeping poverty and limited economic opportunities, calling on General Muntu to help uplift their communities.
They are saying protecting again, and yet for us you are protecting the poverty. We don't want that. We want also to protect our property.
And if it doesn't stamp out corruption, how will there be money to put drugs in hospitals? How will that happen? So if anybody decides to corroborate because they think drugs will come to hospitals, I highly doubt whether that will happen.
General Muntu stressed the need to economically empower the Acholi people, pledging to support for sustainable initiatives in key sectors such as agriculture, education, and healthcare.
High standards of education and skilling the manpower, and then they are healthy by investing in the health sector, and you also invest in agriculture, and they feed well. A combination of those three will position a country using that class or high class of a citizen in whom that kind of investment is made.
General Muntu say that true peace in Gulu can only be achieved when there is justice and fairness for all, affirming his commitment to work towards that goal for the people of Uganda. Many residents in Acholi sub-region were displaced during the LRA war and have yet to receive compensation for lost land and property. The issue of land compensation for war victims remains a major concern, one that General Muntu has pledged to address if elected in 2026. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
The 2026 polls. We just have a few months left to enter into that campaign, and of course we all are looking forward to the best. Now, looking at the Vice President, the Algerian government has reaffirmed its commitment towards the rehabilitation and upgrading of Katakwi General Hospital to enhance health service delivery in Uganda. Now, speaking during the celebrations to mark the 71st anniversary of the revolution and liberation of Algeria, His Excellency Maurad Amorkran, the ambassador of Algeria to Uganda, said the initiative reflects Algeria's continued commitment to improving access to quality healthcare in Uganda and to also support the well-being of our African brothers and sisters. Algeria recently provided $13.7 million, about 50 billion Ugandan shillings, a grant to expand and rehabilitate Katakwi General Hospital. The project, funded through the Algerian International Corporation for Solidarity and Development Agency will improve healthcare access for over 500,000 people in Katakwi and the surrounding districts by upgrading infrastructure and specialized services, plus reducing the need for long-distance travel and also ease on the financial burden. It will also help decongest regional referral hospitals, improve access to specialized care, and stimulate local economies through job creation. The project will include a modern outpatients department, emergency unity, and then operating theater, radiology department, and an intensive care unit, which is the first of its kind in eastern and northern Uganda.
Excellency, on behalf of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, and on my own behalf, I wish to extend warm congratulations to you, and through you, to the government and the people of the Democratic Republic of Algeria on this important 71st anniversary of the revolution and liberation of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Since 1960s, defined by brotherhood, shared struggles, and mutual respect, coupled with diplomatic, economic, and educational, including development spheres. It is worth noting, since the state visit of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to Algiers in 2003, our bilateral cooperation has continued to yield significant results reflected in various sectors that have spurred economic growth and development here in Uganda and Algeria. It is my pleasure, Your Excellency, now to invite you to join me in proposing a toast to the good health of the President of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, peace and development of Algerian people, and the further strengthening of our friendship and solidarity between Uganda and Algeria.
Let's clap for this.
Now, in court, the drama ensued the High Court Criminal Division in Kampala after Mariam Obedi Rutale, daughter of the accused Haji Obedi Rutale, attempted to attack the presiding judge, Emmanuel Baguma, following his refusal to refer an application by Dr. Kiza Besije and Haji Obedi Rutale to the Constitutional Court for the interpretation. The court, packed with relatives and friends of the accused, later resumed for plea taking, but the defense legal team was not ready to proceed.
The accused retired Dr. Kiza Besije, Haji Obedi Rutale, and Captain Olau Dennis appeared before Judge Emmanuel Baguma on charges of treason and misprision of treason. In a full courtroom, Judge Emmanuel Baguma delivered his ruling on the accused's application, asking him to have his decision on refusal referred to the Constitutional Court for interpretation. After reviewing submissions from both sides, Judge Emmanuel Baguma dismissed the application, saying the applicants have failed to show any prima facie ground.
It is my view that this court is not satisfied with the question of law framed for constitutional interpretation. The final result is this court's finding that counsel for the accused person have not made out a prima facie question of law to warrant reference to the Constitutional Court for interpretation. I accordingly decline to refer the proposed question of law to the Constitutional Court, and I direct that let the matter be fixed for scheduling and pre-taking the so-called.
Moments after the ruling, Maria Obedi Rutale attempted to attack the judge over his decision.
Let me talk to him. Where is the judge? Is this a theater? Is this a theater? Is this a theater? Get your script and take it to the theater.
When court resumed, Judge Emmanuel Baguma ordered the accused to take plea on charges of treason and misprision of treason. The defense legal team, however, asked court for more time to seek instructions from their clients, saying security operatives had limited them access.
Whenever we visit, we cannot even go with a statute book to discuss with them the law. I was told by my professor that a good lawyer is the one who knows where to find the law. And therefore, I'm not in the business of cramming provisions to discuss them with my clients. I would need to go with the statutes and find the law to discuss with the clients.
That the orderlies are impressed, the orderlies in court, even when removing a person who is agitated, they must not mishandle. We did not expect or know how the ruling would go. We naturally need to go and take instructions.
Court adjourned the case to 14th December 2024, when the accused will take plea. And for the scheduling of the case, retired Colonel Dr. Kizabe CJ and co-accused were remanded to Ruzila Government Prison, while Mariam Obeid Lutale was released by court. Meanwhile, Nopo's Alex Mofumbira has appeared at Nakawa Chief Magistrate's Court for mention of charges of inciting violence, the offense prosecution leveled against him. Through his legal team, Mufumbira asked court to release him on bail, presenting fiduciarities, saying he will abide by court's orders if released on bail. However, prosecution asked court for more time to peruse through the documents presented to court, and after they will make a reply to the application.
But it should be noted, all the people actually brought, they live within the precincts or within the court's neighboring premises. So it cannot even take more than 10 minutes to verify if indeed the rationale for verification is within the law.
Magistrate Frank Namanya set 13th November 2025 to resume with the case. The accused Alex Mufumbira was further remanded. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has asked developing countries to refocus on development approaches as the world undergoes major structural reforms. And of course, this was contained in the president's message delivered for him by the Right Honorable Nabanja, the Prime Minister of Uganda, during the Second World Summit for Social Development in Doha.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni stresses that the World Summit for Social Development comes at a critical moment in global affairs following other key international engagements, including the 2023 SDG Summit and the 2024 Summit for the Future, where leaders reaffirmed shared commitment to shaping the world.
I bring you warm greetings from His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and the people of the Republic of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. This social summit is happening after crucial global meetings, including the SDG Summit in 2023, the Summit of the Future in 2024, among others, where we have recommitted ourselves to reshaping the world we want.
Museveni notes that the summit takes place as the world undergoes major structural reforms, with official development assistance declining. We should compel developing countries to rethink development approaches.
We should reiterate the call for the reform of the global financial approaches to ensure favorable financing terms for developing countries, since financing is a major trigger for sustainable economic transformation.
The Prime Minister, Robida Nabanja, briefed world leaders that Uganda has adopted a tenfold growth strategy aimed at expanding the economy from $61.3 billion to $500 billion by 2040. The President called upon the United Nations and regional organizations such as the African Union to continue to promote innovative initiatives and interventions that tackle poverty and improve household incomes.
As the previous chair of the G77 and China, and the current chair of non-allied movement, I re-echo Uganda's urgent call for joint and coordinated action-oriented efforts to strengthen multilateralism and harnessing the growing potential of South-to-South cooperation in pursuing sustainable development in its 3 social, economic, and environmental dimensions.
Premier Nabanja outlined key interventions by the Ugandan government to achieve socio-economic transformation.
For example, the government of Uganda is implementing several initiatives to foster income generation and improve standards of living for all. These include the implementation of the Parish Development Model, which is targeting to move the 33% of Ugandans who are in subsistence production to money economy.
The summit was addressed by several heads of state from Africa, Asia, Europe, among others. The first World Summit for Social Development was a conference held in Copenhagen from 6th to 12th March 1995. It aimed to establish a people-centered framework for social development, to build a culture of cooperation and partnership to respond to the immediate needs of those who are most affected by human distress. The Prime Minister was accompanied by Dr. Kezala Muhammad, Uganda's ambassador.
Senior leaders of the NRM, including Deputy National Chairperson Alhaji Moses Chigongo, have held a meeting with NRM leaders in Mukono to discuss strategies and, of course, strategies for strengthening party unity and resolving internal differences. The meeting comes ahead of a scheduled visit to Mukono by the NRM National Chairperson and President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is expected to rally support as the country prepares for the general elections in January next year.
Mukono District NRM Chairperson Haj Haruna Semakula introduced various party flag bearers, including former Minister for Children and Youth Affairs, Honorable Ronald Chibule, among others.
Mumanyi tugenda mu kulonda n'abopposition kituufu oba si kituufu kati mubeetegeeza abantu basatu genda babanyonnyola obulu mugenda kugabanya kati wakube mukufuwa olowooze olw'okulemesa muvumenti olw'okukola ki munno mukabi abamu bagendayo abalala baatawalaza gendayo.
The Director NRM Mobilization, Dr. Rosemary Seninde, appealed to leaders and the electorate to support their efforts to strengthen NRM's presence in Buganda.
We have come to mobilize and ensure that this time round the mistakes that were made in 2021 are not repeated in 2026. We are encouraging the leaders, first of all, to appreciate the dangers of supporting independence. Yes, we know primaries are challenging. We always say the election has been free and fair. We must appreciate that it can never be excellent. So because it is free, it is always a fair election, and this time round it was a fair election, then it wasn't excellent. So if somebody goes into an election, must appreciate that there should always be a winner and a loser.
Seninde expressed confidence that President Museveni will secure at least 75% of the vote in the upcoming election.
It is the reason we have come to try and guide the leaders, talk to the leaders and see how we can come up with one voice and be able to fight for the coming elections so that we can be able to succeed in this.
Dr. Seninde also emphasized the importance of unity through the NRM Village Mobilization Campaign model, condemning internal divisions that weaken the party's efforts. Ambassador Barbara Nekesa encouraged Mukono residents to reach out to former NRM members and supporters who had drifted away.
That the mobilization strategy of 2025-2026 has been solely given to the structure leaders. They have the responsibility of delivering not only the president but all flag bearers. There is no election that we have gone in without a national task force. It is the first of its kind that the trust has been put in the structures, and we have to appeal to our structure leaders not to let the president down.
Our party is a broad-based party which requires a mass vote. So by having independence, we affect ourselves, we affect our performance, and they actually cause more problems, even trouble, in our NRM forces. That will emphasize, and I'm happy to be a good example.
With Momo, you have the power to pay for shopping more easily using your phone. Dial *165*3# or scan to download Momo app and pay for anything. No hassling for change. And even better, if you run out of money while paying, you can simply add core with Momo Advance. That's Momo. That's the power to be more.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical-looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person, who recommends me to another person, who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product. Ochikoze mwana. Shop is stocked, customers ready. Now it's time for takeoff. So offer them more. Become a Wendy agent today and offer mobile money top-ups, customer service support, utility payments, water, power, pay TV. You're now. Turn your shop into a Wendy agent hub and commissions on every tap and easy access to loans.
That's right. More foot traffic, more sales, more profit, paid instantly. Register free. Call 0800-217-200 or WhatsApp 0707-993-930.
Wendy Wonawoli.
And into our next segment, the National Resistance Movement presidential candidate, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has pledged to fight corruption and, of course, corrupt health officials to ensure efficient service delivery. He also promised to establish an industrial park for Manafwa District local government following the discovery of the vermiculite mineral. Mr. Museveni made the commitments while campaigning in the Bugisu sub-region on Thursday.
NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni entered day 2 of his campaigns in Bugisu sub-region with rallies in Manafwa and Bulambuli districts. In Manafwa, he addressed a mega rally at Bugobero High School playgrounds in Bugobero Town Council, where he was welcomed by thousands of supporters. Museveni pledged to fight corruption in the health sector to ensure effective delivery of services such as immunization.
First of all, in health, immunization has been going very well in the whole of Uganda. It is the treatment which has been having problems because of the corruption of the health workers. But we shall find a solution because what they are doing it in Uganda not in Congo, not in Sudan, we shall get them.
He highlighted some of his government's achievements, including roads, electricity, water, schools, and health facilities, saying these form a strong foundation for further development. He assured residents that if re-elected, the remaining roads such as Bubulo, Nabumali, Butaleja Road, and Bubulo Circular Road would be completed.
The roads which are already done, you have seen them, like the one of Mbale to Ruahaha, the one of Tirinyi to Busoga, the one going to Soroti, Tororo. But the ones which are planned now, which are under procurement, they are looking for the one to do the work. Nabumari, Butareja, Namtumba, Buburo, Bududa Circular Road.
Buburo, Bududa Circular Road,
28 kilometers. The other one is 90 kilometers, the one of Butareja.
He also promised to establish an industrial park in Manafa district to support local development following the discovery of vermiculite mineral.
And I'm glad that we are going to have the Manafa Industrial Park. There is the mineral there called, I've forgotten what they call it.
That vermiculite?
Vermiculite. Vermiculite. We are going to, they will build around that vermiculite. And there's even iron ore somewhere. There's also iron ore here. Now that vermiculite is very important because apparently it controls fire. It is a poor conductor of heat. So when they are making very strong vehicles like satellites, they need some of those minerals which don't get hot quickly.
Philip Aguta for UBC News in Manafa.
Now, Haj Kakande urges Acholi to deliver landslide victory for President Museveni. Office of the President calls for stronger mobilization as leaders in Acholi meet in Gulu.
He said the Acholi sub-region has transformed from a war-torn area into a peaceful and steadily developing part of the country under President Museveni's guidance.
You know what has happened here since 1986? There are a lot of problems in this place. Leaders who were here by that time had misled the people, thinking that they are the only ones who can be leaders. So they started senseless wars, killing so many people around here. The president tried so much to make sure that he negotiates with them. I remember the first argument was between him and the late Lieutenant Colonel Angelo Okero.
He also called on government representatives in the region to mobilize and translate the large crowds witnessed during President Museveni's recent campaign rallies into actual votes in the 2026 elections. The Presidential Secretary applauded General Salim Saleh and the Operation Wealth Creation Initiative for transforming the region through agricultural projects, particularly coffee production.
At first, President Museveni founded at 2 million production, but now we are at 9 million bags. And right now, the income we are getting from this coffee is about $2 billion. And if we increase by 2030, the story will be very different.
The head of the RDC Secretariat, Major Martha Simwe, said the workshop aims to strengthen leadership, teamwork and performance among RDCs and RCCs to improve coordination in service delivery and security management.
Equip you with knowledge and skills to help you execute your duties, enhance leadership development and team building for efficiency and effectiveness as you handle your tasks and accomplish the intent of the Commander-in-Chief. For personal growth, development and improved performance to reach your full potential.
Northern Regional Commissioner Alice Apia Kelo commended the Office of the President for organizing the training and praised RDCs for their commitment and effective mobilization across the sub-region.
These are the foot soldiers that are managing the region on your behalf. I want to commend them for a good work they are doing. Haji, before the president came to northern Uganda, there was a slogan that no cows, no vote. These foot soldiers you see here work very hard, together with political leaders, religious leaders, and cultural leaders, agreed by everybody that every household now gets 5 animals.
Now over to Bugisu. The Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, Dr. Balambarugahara, has joined coordinators of the Patriotic League in Bugisu to launch a Cleaning Mbale City campaign. The campaign that is to happen on Friday this week is in support for His Excellency the President, who is currently in Bugisu for his campaigns.
Juu, NRM, Juu, Mbale, Juu, Mbale City, Juu, Namisindwa, Juu, Bungoko South. Joining today, Team MK, Team PLU, MK Movement, PLU, Patriotic League of Uganda, Elgon Region. First of all, I want to congratulate all of you for getting appointed on those positions in PLU. And the General Moses' expectations, and for now, our focus, what he says, is now focus on promoting Mzee. Let Mzee win massively. Initially, we had a target of 70%, but because of the overwhelming support we are getting where we are passing, because I started with him from Luwero up to where we are today, and haven't missed any of his rallies. We have now revised our goal to 80%. Mbale, Team Elgon region, Sironko, and all the places of Elgon, we should win massively. We are not scared. We shall work together to ensure we win for the president, but we cannot win unless the ground forces, who are you, the people who stay on the ground, you are active and working hard. On behalf of PLU and on behalf of General Mozi, I want to thank you for supporting him and for supporting MK Movement, or Patriotic League of Uganda. PLU, juu kabisa, tuko pamoja.
The government of Uganda has committed towards supporting projects intending to transform refugee communities and hosting districts while officiating at the 3-day comprehensive refugee response stocktaking to find resilient solutions to refugee problems. The Minister for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Engineer Hilary Onek, reiterated on the significance of empowering refugees to minimize over-dependence.
Ministry of Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees has called to action an everlasting solution to refugee problems in Uganda. These believe a solution of peace, economic empowerment and sustainable resilience from refugee parent countries has to be invested in.
Who runs from a problem and who is being persecuted in their countries, we allow them to stay here in our country and we give them space where to stay. Unfortunately, but in doing so, the United Nations High Commission has been providing for money for logistics and other needs of refugees.
The project centered on finding lasting solutions to rehabilitating refugees in securing durable solutions, increasing resilience and self-reliance.
We are saying we have to review the policy of this voluntary repatriation of refugees to their countries. It should be reviewed such that those refugees are forced to go back to their countries. But the countries where there's still turbulence, like the Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, where there's active kind of insecurity, those ones we may still postpone the idea of forceful repatriation of their citizens. Those are the ideas that are coming.
In the spirit of Ubuntu, the Danish government has contributed 8 billion Ugandan shillings to World Food Programme to assist fund over 80,000 refugee new entrants, sustain themselves and enable food security.
To assist in bridging the funding gap and providing humanitarian assistance to the most vulnerable refugees. This is part of our humanitarian response, and it complements our development response here in Uganda, where we work on resilience and self-reliance.
We need to pivot away from the emergency assistance, particularly for the practical reason that we don't have the levels of emergency assistance we've had in the past, but also because we need to provide sustainable long-term solutions for refugees and host communities.
These commend the government of Uganda for their open-door policy for refugees and commits more support towards refugee capacity building.
We will continue to spare no effort in supporting refugees and their host communities in Uganda to lead safer, more dignified, and more hopeful lives. But among others, we would like to provide hopes. Hopes for today, hopes for tomorrow, hope for young ones, hope for the future.
With Uganda hosting over 1.9 million refugees from around the continent, she provides a model ground for refugee response solutions looking to localization and increase of self-resilience for new entrants. Komagum Rogers for UBC.
Now, the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda has once again honored excellence and integrity in corporate reporting at the 2025 Financial Reporting Awards held at Hotel Africana. This ceremony celebrated organizations setting new standards in financial transparency, sustainability, and good governance.
The 2025 FIRE Awards by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants brought together corporate leaders, financial experts, regulator and development partners to recognize champions of accountability and sustainability in Uganda's corporate space. The event held at Hotel Africana, Kampala, highlighted resilience and responsible reporting in an increasingly uncertain global economy, reaffirming the FIRE Awards as a benchmark of excellence in sustainable business practices. The Institute of Certified Public Accountants President, CPA Timothy Ediom, praised organizations for maintaining high standards of transparency and ethical governance.
Professor, I know that sustainability is very much a part of Uganda Christian University's agenda, and they are aligned to such conversations. When the learning institutions embrace ESG, we know that we are on a solid path towards sustainability alertness in the society.
Uganda Christian University Vice-Chancellor Professor Aaron Mushenjezi, who officiated the event, pledged to continue the support in nurturing ethical financial professionals.
We should always ask ourselves, why are we doing this? Why are we funding this? Why do we have this unit in our organization? What is it serving? Because if we don't, we run the risk of funding units in organizations that are not adding to our sustainability.
FIRE Awards Committee Chair, CPA Stephen Ineget, said this year's edition emphasized effective reporting that strengthens investor confidence and promotes ESG integration.
Sustainability is critical, not just to businesses, not just to governments, but to entire humanity. So all stakeholders have special interest in sustainability.
MTN Uganda took the Gold Award, followed by NSSF and Stanbic Uganda Holdings Limited. Other notable winners included Centenary Bank, Pearl Bank, Finca Uganda, Housing Finance Bank, Bank of Uganda, Deposit Protection Fund, and Old Mutual Insurance Company Limited, among others. SACCO Excellence was recognized, among which includes Exodus Sacco, Wazalendo Sacco, Makerere University Retirement Benefit Scheme, and JCRC Savings Group. Additional accolades went to Uganda Clays Limited, UNOC, The New Vision, ERA, LDC, and Quality Chemicals Uganda Limited. As the evening ended in applause and celebration, the 2025 Fire Awards reaffirmed their mission to inspire excellence, transparency, and sustainability across all sectors of Uganda's economy. Mutonyi Hilda and Deo Habimana, UBC.
Now, with a bold vision to end all forms of human poverty worldwide, a Food for Hungry Association, through its Uganda country office, continues to design, develop, and deliver catalytic solutions that empower children, families, and communities to flourish in Kampala.
With a bold vision to end all forms of human poverty worldwide, the Food for the Hungry Association, through its Uganda country office, continues to design, develop, and deliver catalytic solutions that empower children, families, and communities to flourish.
Currently working in Greater Karamoja, the Sebe region, that is Kwen, Kapchora, Mbale, Namutumba, and then we're coming to the part of the north in Lamu, Kitgum, and Ajumani. We're covering about 7 districts with our area operation offices, and we've reached at least a total of 109 communities in these places, which is impacting to over 160,000 households that we've worked with across. And with this, we're seeing great changes in terms of asset creations, in terms of education, in terms of our health system and WASH. But also we do a sponsorship program, and we have about 19,000 children under our program for sponsorship across different area program that we work in. We work both in refugees and also in the host community.
In Kampala, the association held a national high-level engagement meeting, a forum focused on accountability to government, development partners, and the very communities that have benefited from its programs.
I'm happy to be here on behalf of Bukende Sub-County, where the FH Association has been working, has given us several projects, and among all, under education, they have given us buildings, they have mentored staffs, they have trained head teachers, under health, they have given us a maternity ward, they have improved in their lifestyles, and it has improved on the lives of the people. The youths have been given grants to improve on their livelihood, which has changed the Bukende community.
The meeting drew high-level officials from government, donor agencies, and representatives from communities where FH Association has left a lasting footprint.
I thank them. They support my children. People are very happy. People are now willing, and the community is now what? Aware.
This engagement provided a platform to showcase these success stories and strengthen collaboration with both existing and prospective partners, ensuring that the journey towards sustainable development continues.
I want to thank in a special way the teams that have given us work with. Those are the FH staffs who have been down on the ground, and most importantly, they have involved us in the planning, that whatever need is identified, people themselves identify the need, and they have a plan for them.
Experts shared insights on stabilizing rural livelihoods, promoting ecological balance, and advancing socio-economic well-being through FHA's asset creation pathway, a model built around farming for value, farming nature's way, and saving to invest and flourish. Chris Buyondo, UBC.
It's time for us to take a short break and return with our business segment.
kumandiga natera nga nyingiro ne banafa ba MTN wanji MTN walala MTN gamba to get the power to win njagalo ofune lyanyi okuwangula ogenda kuwangula ota ngenda kubanga obukadde 10 buli wiki wanji ngenda kubanga kwasa obukadde 10 buli wiki ku simu ye nyinyi kyabonka kimu kyokka line ya MTN bana beka buli ogenda okusasula ekintu kyonna ogenda okusasula ntakwese momo obulira buli ogenda okusasula ngwena kyosasula kyonna kozesa momo oyinza okubanga ngenda kwewola kasente kozesa momo wanji ogenda kuinvestinga kozesa momo abwa MTN we jamani nekuwa obukadde 10 buli wiki wala kastejo bimala bwe pa wentandika ngamba kyekiriwo wanje nenkwata ku masimu ngamba halo walirudawa tenze tirinyi halo walirudawa zendi gulu halo walirudawa ndi mutukula halo oliwa ndi mwanange ndi wano mu office ntudde nyiga ma computer nenkuta awa namwe kasta na benesi okuberanga mwana wote koze ebintu no amanga epeyinze ebolowinze investinze ngekozesa momo. Remember to dial *165# or use the momo app to borrow, to pay, to invest, and you could stand a chance to win 10 million weekly.
This is our home, our land, our Uganda. From the rolling hills to the busy streets, from the farmers in the fields to the students in classrooms, we are one people. Elections are a time to choose our leaders, not to fight our brothers and sisters. When violence enters the ballot box, the future of our country is wounded. But when peace leads the way, our nation grows stronger. On election day, choose unity over diversion, respect over hatred, and dialogue over distraction. Love your country, protect your fellow citizens, stand for peace, and say no to electoral violence. This message is brought to you by the Global Election Observation Mission, GEOM, in partnership with the Uganda Electoral Commission. Informed citizens, strong nation.
And into the world of business, Moroto District Local Government has approved a budget of 16.57 billion shillings for the year 2026-2027 financial year, with key priorities in education sector by 6.1 billion, in the health sector by 3.4 billion, and in the agro-industrialization sector by 1.2 billion, as we hear more in this report.
Budget conference is the starting point in the planning and the budgeting process for government entities.
Moroto District has approved a budget of 16.57 billion shillings for 2026-2027, focusing on education, health and agro-industrialization, among other sectors. 1.2 billion shillings has been set aside for agro-industrialization, 10.7 million shillings for tourism and development, 51 million shillings for natural resources and environment, 48 million shillings for the private sector development, another 48 million shillings for trade and industry, 1 billion shillings for transport and infrastructure. Education takes up 6.1 billion shillings, health 3.4 billion shillings, water 793 million, community-based services take up 31 million shillings, administrations 539 million shillings, wages will take 10.9 billion, non-wage items 4 billion, and development takes up 1.6 billion shillings. Moroto District.
In the budget, especially for graduation for our studies during this period, and especially now that we have the science.
District Health Officer James Lemukol said the health budget has been affected by reduced donor funding.
87% of this allocation
goes for wage. And that means that will be used for paying salaries of health workers. It may also allow for a small recruitment of some of the very significant reduction of donor support. And we attribute this to the work stop orders, where up to almost 10 partners that we were working with in the district have been terminated, and so all the financial support that they were providing to the district healthcare system, including even support in kind.
Moroto District Administration Officer Kasim Kutosi urged department heads and lower local governments to follow the district development plan 4.
It will implement the guidelines as enshrined in the district development plan 4.
Moroto Deputy RDC Justine Tukosam officiated the budget approval. The allocation was guided by the district's population of 100,300 people.
And into sports, the 2025 edition of the Mountain Dew UG 3x3 basketball series has been launched with bigger prizes wider each across the country.
After a successful debut last year, Mountain Dew and Red Rhino Sports, in partnership with Federation of Uganda Basketball Associations, have unveiled the second edition of the nationwide 3x3 basketball series.
The game is not new to local athletes, as Uganda has participated in and hosted several 3-on-3 tournaments, including the Africa University 3-on-3, which was held in July 2024 last year, and FIBA 3-on-3 Nation League in August 2024 last year.
This year's tournament will feature 4 stops in Mukono, Mbarara, Kampala and Gulu before the grand finale in Kampala on December 13th.
Without the growth of outside central area sports, we will be curtailed in how much talent we can pick up, because I believe that there's a lot of talent out there. We just can't see them because they have nowhere to play. And the moment we fix that, I think even our pool for whether it's U16, U23, 3-on-3 national teams will be much bigger.
Prize money of 2 million Uganda shillings has been allocated for each stop, with the winning men's and women's team taking home 500,000 each and automatic qualification for the finals.
And so we'll continue to be a part of this sport, continue to innovate. I believe that this has been a really good platform for identifying new talent, but also innovation within the sport. As Crown Beverages Limited, we are one of the biggest supporters of youth sports here in Uganda. And so this is really important to us to continue.
At the grand finale, the champions in both categories will each win 2 million Uganda shillings, while the runners-up will pocket 1 million Uganda shillings. Participation is open to all players under 25 years.
And that's all we had time for. Thank you once again for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Mpango Dorothy Namyomba has been with us on sign language. Let's meet again at 10 o'clock. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Qualified
professional and compassionate doctors, talking real solutions to real health problems.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed viewers, fellow healthcare enthusiasts, good evening. We welcome you to yet another thrilling edition of the Doc Talk Show, where we explore a number of topics. Dr. Muyanga Andrew Mark is my name, and I'm the host tonight, leading you on a journey into the world of medicine and healthcare, where we explore a number of topics, unravel mysteries, and most of all, fashion you with information that will help you to take charge of your health. Certainly, we would like to make mention of our sponsors, that is Ministry of Health and its partners. Tonight, we are having a discussion on prostate disease in men. And in-house to do the discussion justice, certainly, are a number of discussants. Right next to me is Dr. Masaba, and right next to Dr. Masaba is Dr. Namuga, and on my far left is Dr. Odongo. I will request, starting from Dr. Masaba.
So good evening, viewers. My name is Dr. Masaba Joseph. I work with Mulago National Referral Hospital, National Referral and Teaching Hospital, with the Urology Unit.
Good evening, viewers. I'm Dr. Namuga Masa Monica, a urologist working with the Urology Unit of Mulago National and Teaching Hospital.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. I'm Dr. Odongo James, a urology fellow in the Urology Unit in Mulago Hospital.
It's an honor having you, Dr. Masaba, Dr. Namuga, and Dr. Odongo in the house. And I believe from your introductions, you are going to do this discussion justice, and we shall leave our fellow Ugandans better equipped to handle their health. As earlier said, the discussion tonight in the house is prostate disease in men. I think it would be important to first of all start by telling us about what prostate diseases exist in men. Is it one disease? Are there many diseases? And what should we be interested in today's discussion? So I think, Dr. Namuga, would you mind helping us to create a visual image of what the prostate is, probably where it is located, so that my father in Budumbuli can visualize it as well, despite him not having even attained a primary education?
Okay, so prostate is a small organ the size of a small onion, or your nail on the thumb finger, which is seated right below the bladder or at the bladder opening. Now, despite its location there, it's not really part of the urinary system. It's more, it's a part of the reproductive system. It functions together with the testicles and the seminal vesicles to create an enriched sperm, which is, the male reproductive fluid, so to say. However, diseases or changes within the prostate actually affect urination.
So if I've understood you well, you talked about it being somehow related in position to the urinary bladder. The bladder, in simple terms to my grandfather in Budumbuli, is the organ which stores urine before we urinate. I hope that is basic.
Yes.
So it's related to the urinary bladder, but it's not part of the system which we use to pass out urine, per se.
Yes, Dr. Muyaga. So basically, to a person out there, the prostate and the bladder are related in such a way that the tube which passes urine from the bladder to the outside it joins the bladder and at its opening. The prostate sits around that tube. Oh. So basically, you have a structure which has been put there by God, sitting around the tube which passes urine, and that tube passes right through the middle of it. So because of its location, when you have anything that affects it, it's going to affect your ability to pass urine.
Interesting. Dr. Odongo, we have understood the basics of what the prostate is. And the discussion tonight is about prostate disease in men. Would you mind enlightening us about what prostate diseases we should be interested in men during the course of this discussion?
Yeah, prostate disease itself, that's a wide topic. But of course tonight we shall be more interested in benign prostate enlargement or benign prostate hyperplasia. But for the purpose of this, I can say benign prostate enlargement. Then there is prostate cancer, there is prostatitis, and other diseases of the prostate. Okay. But tonight, we shall be interested in prostate enlargement. Now, this BPH is an age-related enlargement of the prostate. Like Dr. Masaba said,